you, sir. Can I have some more? Lee Cox, Kevin Frakes, the 4th of July edition of Theater Thursday. Did you guys get in? I can't believe they locked the door on you.
I know.
John, what the hell?
We wore blue. You have red and white.
They knew we were coming. They said, "These guys are coming. We got to lock the door."
I'm going to have to say something. I had some local celebrities outside waiting today.
Yeah, how dare they take
that?
the holiday?
I was on your Facebook yesterday just kind of scrolling through, and I saw some of the new pictures of the Oliver cast.
Yeah.
And you know what's cool? You can see the camaraderie in the picture.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
It's great cast, and we have a lot of new people.
27
new
out
people.
of 31 are brand new.
What does that mean for the Little Theater, seriously?
It means a lot of work for me. But I like new people. I really do. I like the energy they bring, and they're so excited about it. And the kids are so much fun, to be with and stuff. And you take a chance on having that many kids, but these kids are so smart, and they want to be there and they want to work. In fact, when the night's over, we said, "Okay, it's time to go home." A lot of them go, "No, can we stay and do it again?"
Wow.
And so they're really working hard, and they've got their lines memorized like boom, just like that. And of course, I tease the adults.
Show offs,
I tease the adults because first night of blocking, my little Oliver, he walks up without a book. And so all the adults are reading the book. I looked at the adults and said, "You realize this little boy's got his lines memorized?" And they go, yeah, we know.
And he's so little. Knox is so little. I thought, does he not read? Maybe that's why he doesn't have his book, and then he just rattled them off. I was like, oh my God, he's got them all.
No, he's very, very intelligent little boy.
Well, and what I think's kind of cool about that is I'm sure just kind of their passion because, they're younger and they have that energy, I'm sure it rubs off on the older cast.
It does. It keeps everybody going and stuff. The kids are so excited about doing things. And when I got the set partially done, it probably 95% done, and the kids saw it, and it's their playground. I mean, they get up there and they're running all over it and stuff, and they're trying it out.
And they notice if we add things.
Yeah,
oh, look at this!
yeah.
She created over here. I'm like, don't touch it. Don't touch it.
So, but they get so excited. It's fun to see it through their eyes because we're so used to doing it.
Right.
And our little Oliver's never been on stage before.
Ever.
Oh, and he has the leading role.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what I think's cool, going even beyond theater, is the fact that you both have created relationships for these, small performers, that they're going to have a group of friends or somebody to talk to. I mean, the relationships last forever that way.
Yeah, they really do. In fact, the two leads, the two little boys, they're starting to bond, and they're hanging together and everything else. And the moms are even bonding.
That's
they come,
cool.
And the moms are bonding, and they're changing phone numbers and stuff. Say, well, if I'm late sometimes, you take care of my boy, I'll take care of your boy.
That's cool.
And that kind of stuff. And I welcome that. I like the moms being there. They help. They sit there and stuff. And of course, kids are kids. And there was one night I'm up there working with Oliver, and he goes, "Yeah, but it says in the book to do this, this, and this." And I said, "Yeah, but I'm going to change it a little bit." And he goes, "Well, you are the director." And Mom started saying something. I go, "I got him, Mom. Don't worry about it. I got him." So, but they're so smart. They're just like little. It keeps you on your toes. It keeps you on your toes with these kids.
But so you start with this is downstage, this is upstage, because
they know nothing.
They know nothing.
What was that off of? I Know Nothing. What was that?
I know nothing. That was
Oh my God.
the Army show.
Yes.
Schultz and
MASH.
MASH.
There we go. I was going crazy.
No.
No? Hogan's Heroes?
Hogan's Heroes.
Oh, okay.
Hogan's
Heroes.
Sorry, squirrel moment. I just got
That's okay. I'm used to ADD people.
But that's another incredible thing about this process with Oliver is, like you guys just said, it's one thing when you have CJ out there and he's playing a small part and you got 9 other people around him, but you got all these kids.
You.
Yeah.
Speak up.
But you got all these kids that are new and you're teaching them definitions and terminology and then going into learning the show.
Yeah, because when I get up and talk and stuff, I say, we're going to do this. And I said, now, how many kids know what I'm talking about? And some of them will raise their hands, and then I have them explain it. And then they explain it, and the
That's
kids
cool.
are going, oh, okay. So then we continue on. Because I said, do you know what blocking is? You know, and they'll go, you know, and so we move on, and then I explain it to them, because I try and teach them as I go.
Right.
And even the parents say, well, I love that. These kids learn a lot of things. Instead of just getting up there, you do this and you do that, I tell them why they're doing it, and I explain it to them, and we get into depth with the characters, and because I said before we even started, I had all the kids sitting on stage, and I sit down on a chair and I talk to them. I said, okay, now what is acting to you guys? What is this? And they start talking about it openly and stuff, and I said, now Fagin is in this, so who is Fagin to you? You know, and they said, well, he's a guy that took us in. I said, so why do you think he took you in? Think about the process. And I said, in my mind, I think he's a man that also spent time on the streets as a young man. And so when he got older, he decided to help these young kids that are out on the street, and he takes them in.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh. And so I said, this is what happens in these shows. You have to, there's reasons for everything you do. And if you don't have a reason in the book, you make it up so you understand why you're doing things. And that's all part of acting.
I'm so glad he's really been thinking about this, because on Monday, from 1 o'clock until almost 10 o'clock, we have 50 children that we are coaching, teaching, directing, because our youth summer classes start.
Oh, they start Monday?
Yeah, so look at us now, because
Okay, can we get some before and after shots in this studio? Well, and do you guys like working with the kids? Seriously?
I do. It's you know, like, it's a different type of energy.
Yeah.
With these kids, and yeah, at times they drive you crazy. You know, I mean, they're kids, and at times you got to put on the dad hat. And you take off the director hat and you put on the dad hat, and then, but you don't do it as much. I'm not doing it much at all in this show.
these are good kids.
And these are really good. I mean, there's one time, you know, Arsenio is doing our choreographing, and he is awesome.
Yeah,
with the
he's
kids.
wonderful.
He's awesome. And at one time, he had them all on stage. Everybody was on stage, and he took the adults, and he said, the adults are doing something special here. So he started working with the adults, and I guess he worked with them for a good 25 minutes. And these kids were on stage, and they just sat down and just sat and watched. And
Wow.
you're talking, you know, there were 17 of them at the time sitting there on stage, just sitting there watching, you know, and no adult said, okay, kids, sit down, be quiet, and watch. They just did it. And I was sitting there watching that, and I was so proud of them, because it's like, oh my God. And these are kids from 8 years old till 17.
Oh.
All the way up. You know,
So you got a pretty diverse group.
Yeah, we've got a handful of the real little ones.
It's hard not to lose all of them. Sometimes when they're all 31 or up there, I'm like, where is he?
'Cause he's a little guy.
And Kevin will say, it's Oliver. He needs to be up front.
So it's.
Well, and as I'm getting into this, I don't think you guys are going to have one lull of a show. I mean, just from the passion of the cast and crew, and just seeing how their families are a part of this, I could see these tickets just flying right off the shelves.
They're selling.
Are they
They're
good?
picking up. Yeah, they're selling.
All the kids and their parents and grandparents.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
I mean,
that was
grandma
day
comes
one.
in and buys 10 tickets at a time, you know.
Well-
so they bring the whole family and stuff.
And that means you better get your hands on yours soon,
Yes.
because honestly, you know the family's coming in to swoop up what they can, and rightfully so. But also for all of you to have that opportunity, August 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. August 2nd, 3rd, 8th, and 9th are at 7:30. August 4th, 10th, and 11th are matinees at 2. I like the Saturday matinee.
Well, see,
We're
this
trying
is
it out.
this is launching this difference. There'll be 4 evenings and 3 matinees, and so we thought, well, this is a good shot, even though it's not part of the regular season, because families and kids, particularly if they have younger kids, it's probably easier. They're not going to fall asleep. I don't think they would anyway. 17 production numbers. That's huge.
Well, and some of our older clientele, they don't like to drive at night anymore.
Yeah.
And so our Sundays fill up immediately. And so there's a lot of them say, well, I can't come then. And because they won't drive at night.
Yeah.
And so that was another reason why we did that. And so now it gives them another option to go to.
Well, I really do like the matinee opportunity, because I'm a early guy.
Because you don't like driving at night.
You know what's fun? I'm an old guy. By 7, you got to come get me from my house. You know?
And your dog.
And my dog, of course, Nico. But, you know, as you're rehearsing these 17 production numbers, which we aren't talking, you know, tiptoe through the tulips walking
they're
down the
big
road.
numbers.
These are huge.
Yeah, and some of them just go on forever.
Oh, they do.
Just go on forever.
How do you
Yeah.
rehearse something like that, especially one that's such a long duration?
You do it in sections.
Okay.
I mean, you do it sections at a time. Then you start putting everything together. And like I told the kids, I said it's a process because there's some nights that not all of them are there, and then there's some nights that not all the adults there. So you do it, in different levels.
Mm-hmm.
And after a while, then they all start coming in, and they're seeing things they've never seen before because they're not in it. And then all of a sudden, it's like the show just starts coming together.
Really cool. And it seems like that no one's, especially in the younger level, even across the board, but for the younger performers, no one's fearful of failing. They're all learning and part of this team.
I don't think they understand that.
Yeah.
They really don't understand that because
That's a good
we're just
point.
teaching them what to do. Because I sat down with the mom the other night of Oliver, and I sat down with her at rehearsal, and I said, "So how's he doing?" And she goes, "Well, he's working real hard." I said, "No, I don't mean that." I said, "How's he doing mentally?"
Mm-hmm.
And because we're giving him a lot.
Yeah.
For a young man, that's never done anything before
How old
on
is he
stage,
again?
he's actually 8.
But he looks
like
tiny,
5 and 6. I mean, he's little.
tiny.
Wow.
And so I said, "How's he doing?" She goes, "Oh, he's doing great, but I'm dying."
Well, I bet.
She goes, "I'm a nervous wreck."
Yeah.
And I said, "It's okay." I said, "We will get him through
We were
this."
talking about that last
Yeah,
week.
she's a nervous wreck. And she sits there during rehearsals, and she even cries during rehearsals.
We were
You know?
But-
she goes, "Oh, I cry all the time."
But it goes above and beyond. Just what you said, just to touch on it, worrying about the mental health,
Yeah.
because you're right. I mean, for even a 25-year-old, a 30-year-old that's performing in that's a lot to handle.
But he's so intelligent because we'll be working with him, and whether it's me or Arsenio or whoever, and we'll talk about something, he'll go, "Now, wait a minute." He goes, "What do you want me to do?" And we'll go through it again. He goes, "Okay, I can do that." And then he gets up and does it.
Wow.
So he really...
They're little sponges.
Yeah,
They
he
just
really
absorb
stops and
it.
thinks about it. And you can tell when I'm talking to him, he focuses right on me when I talk to him, which is not always true with kids that age. And he'll look right at me and he'll focus, and then he'll go, "Okay." And then he gets up and does it, And to work with someone that young and inexperienced, and to let him go through everything, because he's not only got to learn all the lines, he's got to learn the dances, he's got to learn all the songs, he's got to learn everything, and then I've got to teach him how to act.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't really know how to act.
Right.
So it's a lot of work.
Like he's a kid in 1848.
Yeah.
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 And to me, though, that's what I think's really cool, though, to hear is that, even across the board, that you guys are really looking out for the, welfare of the performers is really cool, man. I think that's wonderful. And, as you're going forward, what do these next couple of weeks look like? Because you're less than a month away from the show starting, which
It's crazy.
I never thought honestly, when we started talking about this, I said it'd be a hop, skip, and a jump, and now you got the youth acting classes starting and the rest
And
of
he's actually taking our classes,
Yeah,
too. He's
there's
gonna be
4 of
taking
the
our
kids.
classes.
Four of the
man.
kids are taking.
Yeah.
So they'll be there with us.
Yeah. So
Wow.
a few of them are taking our classes, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because moms are jumping into it. And moms, I tell you what, you got to hang on to those moms.
You
'cause
do.
Yeah.
They are there every single night, and they're sitting there, and it's tiring for them. And they get really nervous for their kids and everything else. But they're good moms because they'll videotape things and take it home and help the kids. Because they see what we want them to do, then they'll go. Because I could tell, because when they come back the next night, they've got it, and mom's been helping them.
And now how do you guys split up that performance time for the cast of Oliver that's a part of the youth acting classes? Is it going to be hard for them to kind of get out of the Oliver routine to focus on youth acting?
These kids.
Not these ones?
absorb it.
Yeah.
Tell them about the Randy thing that he ran over. Poor Oliver's.
Oh yeah, he's. We were all
Randy,
rehearsing
poor
songs
Randy.
and stuff out front in the lobby, and we rehearse our songs out there. And they're singing along, and Randy, who plays Fagin, he's also in that song. They're singing along and stuff, and Randy ran over one of the songs and sang a line that's Oliver. And he's singing along, and he's just sang it, and Oliver turned and looked and goes, that's my line. Don't sing my part. And he goes,
Oh my God!
he goes, I'm really sorry. I won't do that again. You know? And we all were cracking up. He goes, don't sing my part.
You know, Randy, he walked me to my car the other
he's
night.
such a sweet
and
guy.
He's so sweet. He's just shaking his head. He goes, I don't know how they learned it. I don't know how they get it. What am I going to do? What am I going to do?
Well, and he's become like the grandpa of
yeah,
the
I
kids.
bet.
Because the kids just love
Oh,
him to
they
death.
do.
He's a
Even with
wonderful
his
man.
beard and
So
everything,
funny. He's on stage all the time, and they'll be going through new things, and he'll look at the kids and go, okay, kids, what do I do now? Tell me where to go. And the kids go, you go over there and sit down. He goes, okay. So he goes over and sits down, and and the kids really love him, though. You can tell that they're really getting attached to him. So, which is fun, and it's great for the show because
Yeah.
then you'll see that interaction with them.
Well, and it's a different way to learn too. On top of it, because
Absolutely.
even though Randy is learning and all of that, I'm sure it's a fun little not game, but a fun little bit of interaction to have to where they can learn where everyone else needs to
Right.
be too.
He's so experienced, so he anchors like when
Yeah.
audiences are there. That's what's going to be a new elephant, which is why I'm so happy that Kevin is over ready. He wants the show to be ready a week before, and that's good because then when the lights hit, then when the microphones are doing funny things, then when people are there, they're not as thrown because they feel secure. And it's great that we have a couple of experienced actors, Carrie Preston, who plays Nancy, and Randy Manning, who's, of course, Fagin, who they're used to performing.
Yeah.
So, because things happen. People cough. I mean,
They talk.
They
well,
talk.
you've been
Yeah.
on our stage.
You know,
and
people-
it's so close.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing because it could even just be the way someone's makeup hits them that day, for the child. Is there a way that you can ever practice for, that type of, I don't want to say stage fright, but that type of stage shock, or is that just something you got to just deal with?
It's hard. The thing of it is, and I'm a firm believer in this, if you are rehearsed and you know your part, you should be fine because all you're doing then is just going through what you've been taught.
Yeah.
And it's like anything else in life. I mean, a nurse or a doctor or anything else, under stress, they rely on their training, and you go back to your training and you just tune into that. Most people can do that.
and the moms and people in the audience are very good, but occasionally somebody will come up and talk to me and have a question. I try not to do that, but I've learned the kids are tuned into your voice because they don't break character. They don't, unless he says hold it, then they'll stop. So I think that's a good sign that they know if he's saying something, they need to really pay attention. But they kind of tune out everybody else. I try so hard to make sure we're not having conversations when they're rehearsing, like go in the other room. And most of the kids will just sit in the audience and watch.
They're being very
They're
good.
very disciplined.
Now, what's the rehearsal schedule look like? Is it every day?
Every night.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now we're getting to a point where they're going to almost all have to be there
And
all
Saturday.
the time.
Now we've got
we've got a
Saturday.
Saturday dance rehearsal this Saturday.
Yeah.
So it's a catch-up. Well, the problem is when you have that many people and you're talking about summer,
Yeah.
And
people are taking vacation. We have a lot of kids that are off.
Yep.
And so we have to do makeup sessions. And so we got to get these kids. There's been a couple kids that's been off for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Is that-
Bumble's been off, yeah. But he's going to be back Friday.
Is that where the experience comes in at being a director and being and producing shows? Because that would be kind of hard for me. And that, I mean, because
It drives you crazy.
Yeah, because you got to pull everyone.
Yeah.
When do we practice? When do we rehearse this? When do we go into this? Is that just where your experience comes in?
Yeah,
or-
I've been doing it
it's
so
our
long.
life.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
our life. We've been doing this so long. I mean, it's a process. Like I said before, everything's a process, and I do it the same way most of the time. I always do it the same way. And like she says, I push. Like if it says we're opening up on this date, I push that we open up a week early on stage.
Yeah.
And that's the way I push. I mean, the technical's done, the lights are done, everything's ready. And then if we have any problems that last week, we can iron them out. And by then, the cast is ready. I mean, by opening night, the only thing they have is the butterflies, because like I said, you can have butterflies, but you can't be afraid unless you don't know your lines and you don't know your dances. If you know it, what's there to be afraid of?
Exactly.
And we don't add the rented costumes until a week before. And that always
adds a different level.
That adds a different level. They have to figure out how many pages. I did a flow sheet that they'll get tomorrow night. So I have them count how many pages and kind of estimate the minutes. But what if somebody does skip something? They got to know, I've got 2 minutes to make this costume change. And they have to know what they put on. And this doesn't have the number of costume changes that Singing in the Rain does. But
It has a lot.
we have 31, I think I counted up, it's 73 characters that are portrayed. And even the kids who are in the orphanage, not all of them are Fagin kids, but when they are, they have to be totally redressed, and the girls have to look like boys in 4 minutes.
Have you ever gotten an 8-year-old ready for school? You know, that's pretty damn impressive that they can get changed that
quick. And they have to wear different colored jazz shoes, so I know I'm gonna.
They're in for a shock.
They're in for a shock.
But I'm even having to teach. I'm going through a period now because they're starting to learn everything.
Yeah.
It says so. Wonder if this happens and wonder if this happens, you know, because our little Oliver, he's on stage the whole time. And even the scene where he walks up and says, "Please, sir, could I have more?" and they start chasing him. I told him, I said, you have the bowl, you toss it over to the girl next to you, and you take off running, okay? Well, he was doing that. The other night, the girl wasn't there because she was absent.
Yeah.
So he went through it and he went, and he stopped. And so I stopped the whole thing. I said, now, I said, she will be there every night. But I said, things happen once in a while. So if she isn't there, what would you normally do? He goes, I would just get rid of it. I said, that's what you do.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's real.
Right.
It's
you just
real.
Get rid of it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so but they're so afraid of going past that because they're doing everything I tell them to do.
Yep.
So if it gets to a point like, well, Kevin didn't tell me to do this, should I do this? You know, so I've got to get them thinking now, if something happens, you just do it and keep going.
This is so cool. I can't believe
it's a
how
lot
this
of work.
You guys needed a documentary just for the making of Oliver.
It's a lot of work.
I love watching the adults chase him because he's so little. He gets under the table and he climbs over things. And so, again, you know, the audience is rooting for him because he's so little.
Right.
And these adults, they look like giants on stage. And you're like, how can they treat this boy? And, you know, they make him sleep on the floor on a little pad in the funeral home.
It's a dog bed is what it is, basically.
Yeah.
It's a dog bed.
Yeah.
And then they put him in the coffin. And the night we did that, I did it first. I showed him how it all works. I built a coffin. I opened it up, and I put it in right before I closed it down. He goes, wait a minute. I said, what? And he goes, can I breathe in here? I'm like, what kid thinks about that kind of stuff? I went, yeah, you can breathe in here. And he goes, okay. And then off we went. But he's very intelligent, young man. And first time I took him out to show him the set where Fagin kitchen is, you know, it's all kind of a junkyard.
Yep.
And I built it to look like it was about ready to fall down. Okay, he walked out there and he goes, "This doesn't look safe enough to walk on." And I said, "That's exactly the way it's supposed to look." And he goes, "I don't know, it doesn't look safe." I said, "Watch." And I got up and walked all the way around it and stuff. And he goes, "Oh, okay." And then he got on it.
That's just incredible.
I mean, for a little kid to think, most kids would go, yeah, they just jump on it and keep going. He's like, I don't think this is safe.
And now they love it because it took a little while to figure out where do they all sleep.
Yeah,
and
okay.
He has them all cuddled
over the place.
up, and they undress and dress and put things on, and they have to know where everything is. And it has probably 4 times as many things as actually get touched. Some just stay there, but some will get moved. And so I think this week they'll get a feel for like, oh, okay, that's how that gets used.
I actually have a prop I got to pick up. So we haven't even started that yet with them. So.
Oh, that sounds. Hang around for a moment. We got to take a quick pause because I haven't taken a break all hour. But we aren't going anywhere. You stay there. We'll stay here, right here on RiverBender.com, Roku TV.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Double line. I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today. Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ. The story of my life. Welcome back, Theater Thursday, 9:46 on this 4th day of July. How intricate was building this set?
I don't know if that's the right term or not. I enjoy building these kind of sets because I just create it in my head and just start building. And I just go when it, and it took me about a week, so, but, then we had to paint it and make it look good. And then I've got a lady that's coming and going to paint the back wall of old dilapidated buildings behind it. Mm-hmm. So it looks like it's stuck into these buildings. So it's going to be kind of cool.
That is really cool. Well, when you were making that structure that kind of looks unsafe and rickety, what kind of goes into that to throw everyone off? Because I don't want to hear your secrets, but I kind of do.
There's no secrets to it. I mean, you just make it look rough and make it look like it's not square and kind of tilting and stuff when it truly isn't.
Yeah.
And all the it's hard for me because I'm such a builder of straightness. And I didn't do that on this. And so even setting the stuff around that makes it look like, a garbage place, it's like, I'm always like, I want to do this way. So I just walked up and just kind of went, throw it. You just throw it.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that looks good. So that's kind of what you do, right? And I have a hard time doing
Yeah, I bet you do. Well, and that's what I was wondering. Did it ever did it kind of kill you a little bit or tear at you? You're like,
it makes me work harder at it because what I do normally I couldn't do on this because you want it to look bad. And there's he has this little trap door there that he opens up and has his little goodies in there and stuff. So you have to make that. The kids love that. They keep going over to looking at it and stuff.
All of his jewels.
Yeah. That Fagin looks at.
Yeah.
And he has a clothesline with all the hankies, but he said, okay, so we need to get all this vintage underwear and then put it in tea, make it look dirty even if it's on the line.
We'll hang that on
so
the
that's
lines.
what I did yesterday, and my husband's like, what are you doing? Because I made this big vat of tea water, and then I started putting all the underwear in it, and he goes, oh my God, that looks awful. And I said,
that's what it's supposed to look
it's
like.
supposed to look awful.
Getting some interesting text messages this morning about this. People want to know how they can get season tickets.
Oh, well, we can tell them that.
Call 618-462-3205.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Alton Little Theater.
Go online,
You
yeah.
guys manage our website,
Well,
and you
and-
can buy tickets 24 hours a day.
So can I tell you guys something honestly?
Sure.
I gotta get this off my chest. I had someone ask me about some website help and, use my technical guru, and I had to break it to them that I have nothing to do with any of the technical greatness that they're doing upstairs. I was like, I'm just the guy that blabbers into the mic. I'm in the basement,
I understand.
But Mike is so patient these days because sometimes when I ask a question, see, I'm more like you, he'll just go, okay, let me explain it to you in non-technical ways.
Literally me. Now, as we're gearing up and we have a couple of weeks, we can stay up to date on social media to see pictures, I'm sure, of the youth acting classes, to stay up to date on Oliver. But take me through season tickets because they are on sale, and you guys have a discount until August 31st.
Yes.
Do this.
Yes. It's $85 until August 31st. And even then, I do a little flip thing in September. If they wander into the September show, Making God Laugh, which is going to be a fabulous family comedy, then they can use the price that they paid to get in and just convert it to a season ticket. So that will go on until September 29th. And then it's over until next March. You can't buy a season ticket. You can buy individual tickets. But if you buy a season ticket, it would be $115. In fact, if you bought a ticket to every extra and all the shows, it's $217, and you could see a concert, a show every single month of the year.
Do you know what that would get you in St. Louis? A half of a parking spot.
Yeah.
I was just going to say a parking place.
Or the fourth balcony.
Yeah, or the fourth balcony behind the damn pillar, too.
Exactly.
Yeah, we've had people, though, come in and say, well, I don't want to buy season tickets because I'm going to be gone this month. And I said, yeah, but it's still cheaper to buy the season ticket. I said, then give it to someone that's never been. And let them experience it. And
Pay your lawn guy.
It's
Give
still
it to the
cheaper.
lawn.
Yeah, it's still cheaper to buy them because if you miss one or two shows, you're still ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, and too, just to me, we always talk about, supporting local and everything else. A season ticket to Alton Little Theater, even if you can only make one show, buy it and then give the opportunity, like you just said, and support local.
Yes.
Because right now, you and I have talked, Lee, nonprofits are hurting across the board. It is
big
brutal.
time.
And if we can keep, every little bit of, help goes a long way in this. Yeah. And you can provide some entertainment. And hell, everyone needs a couple hours of escape anymore, no matter what news channel you turn on.
It is actually such a healthy thing to come in, turn off your cell phone, be in a different world, maybe have some ice cream, have some refreshments, and say, oh my gosh, I'm unplugged from all the news, all the worry, everything in the world. We have to go back to it as adults. We have to be responsible. but it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, just to get away. And now, in the next couple of weeks, what's the next big musical production on Saturday? What's the big number getting rehearsed?
Oh, we're running all the numbers.
And trying to get people plugged in.
So it's going to be a long Saturday.
Yeah, I thought a couple hours, but
no, we're going to run. Yeah, he's going to pretty well. He gets. Arsenio's very, very good, and he starts tweaking and stuff. So some of the numbers go a little longer in rehearsal than what they probably should because he's just working it. But we got to get everybody caught up, and he'll probably go from the beginning and start running all the numbers. So,
really cool. And is there a chance we can get Oliver a couple of the performers at the end of the month before August?
Maybe.
We tape sometime?
So.
Yeah, I'd love that because just to give them their opportunity. But it's really cool to hear just how the camaraderie and the atmosphere is with you guys.
Who knows what they'll say, but
it's kind of why I want them, Kevin.
They're kids.
But it's really cool, though. I mean, it just goes a long way.
Well, they're going to practice next week. They're on the radio.
Yeah, well, we're taking them on the radio.
Oh, okay. That's good
week,
practice.
So that'll be fun for me.
But it shows you, though, the community. Because it's not just about going to shows and having the best performers and the best show. It's about having the best atmosphere, too. And if you're making a young person feel empowered enough maybe to continue theater all the way up until college and past that, or even just develop those lasting bonds, and then the tools that you're learning on stage, like critical thinking and communication and all of that goes such a long way. And I think it's just really good to point that out.
Yeah, they start at that early age, and once some of these, I would say probably over half of these kids that are in it are hooked now.
Yeah.
They're hooked. And I feel sorry for their parents because their whole life now will be, taking them to theater and staying. And my policy when I direct, and especially with kids, is I have an open door policy. The parents can be there anytime they want to be there and sit and watch. And I have
same for the classes.
Yeah, same with the classes. I want the parents there, because I want them to experience it as well and see what the kids are learning. And it's just a safety thing too, as well. If the parents are there, then I don't worry about anything. So
the kids always have at least 2 adults in the room, and we watch them like a hawk. And they don't get picked up unless we have a release form that says Grandma can pick them up.
So earlier I got snippy because I knew the door was locked, and I got kind of hot on the air. I go, how is the damn door locked? And they didn't realize, one of the texters didn't realize it was Alton Little Theater you were waiting. That's why I was pissy, because I was so pissy. I went, who locks the door on a Thursday? I get it's the 4th of July, but we all got jobs to do, and we'll never lock out Alton Little Theater, and they won't lock you out either, because they want you in the doors and supporting.
If it had really been raining, you'd have heard it from me.
Oh man, I feel you on rain. This hair gets wet and we're in deep mess.
I don't have that problem.
Well, we're going to keep up to date with Oliver as we got another Theater Thursday at the end of the month. Get your tickets now, 618-462-3205. Call the box. Are you guys in there today?
We are going to stop by, and Michael checks the phone every day.
They can always leave a message.
Yes, always leave a message, or they know you can contact me through the website. When it says contact, leave information, it's actually my email. It comes to me, and I get some strange ones, but I had a mom this morning. She won one in a raffle contest, and she said, I won it by 3 more. And I said, oh, that's why we do it.
That's super cool. Really cool. Get season tickets to Alton Little Theater for the 91st season of just greatness that's getting ready to come down. We've already gone through the lineup, but I'm really excited for that.
2 new directors. I mean, really, really great shows.
And the Rocky Horror.
Oh, and
you got to watch that Kevin. You
Auditions are coming up the 22nd and August 2nd, and I think he's going to have 100 people plus. There's some in costume. I just want to
Everybody's excited.
I just want to come and watch.
All the excitement you're missing out on if you don't get season tickets. 618-462-3205 or altonlittletheater.org. Lee, Kevin, we'll talk again soon.
Thank you.
Take a quick break. Daily show on a 4th of July Thursday hits you right after this on RiverBender.com.